What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the youngest and the most muscular IFBB Pro in regards to his age, especially in the current times. And that is Nihaya Kaya. So what has his coach Patrick Tour been feeding him, especially after this year's Dubai Pro? And by the way, that was the show when Nihaya Kaya made his pro debut in the 212. And that was a very successful pro debut, as he was able to beat multiple top 10 Olympians, and that too in his first try. And not just that, he held his own really damn well against a veteran of the sport, Angel Calderon. So I have to say, whatever Nihaya has been doing post-show, that is working so well for him, because the man is turning into a real muscle machine. Because the pace at which he's putting on muscle, that is just nuts. So it's not every day we see this type of muscularity, especially on a 22 years old guy. But Nihaya Kaya is a true freak of nature. He outworked so many of these veterans at this year's Dubai Pro, because I for one did not think that he's gonna look that good, that too at his first ever pro show, that he would actually give Angel Calderon, a guy who is top 3 in the world right now, a very serious one for his money. And also keep in mind, Angel has placed as high as top 2 in the world. And the thing is, the crowd there, they actually had Nihaya Kaya winning that show. And that is why when the result of that show was announced, the crowd was actually booing. So the decider obviously between Nihaya Kaya and Angel Calderon, that was Angel's extreme level of muscularity and the kind of muscle density that he has, that old man muscle quality that comes after years and years of training. So I am glad that they decided to shut it down after this year's Dubai Pro. Because as young as Nihaya Kaya is, keeping his health intact, that is the #1 priority. So based on Dubai Pro performance, it is absolute guaranteed that he is gonna make it to the Olympia stage next year. And the thing is, he doesn't just wanna be another name up there. He wants to fight for the title. And I have to say, if he keeps on adding more muscle, especially at this pace, he won't last very long in the 212 division. He's gonna have to switch to the men's open. Next up is the physique update of Vlad. And it is so unfortunate that he did not get his UK visa, because he was desperately waiting for that and hoping to have another go at this year's Mr. Olympia qualification. And this was gonna be his third attempt. Now, even though UK Pro is the last Olympia qualifier for 2024, but there are 2 more shows lined up in this month after UK Pro, and those are Legion Sports and France Pro. So I'm sure Vlad will be hoping to compete in one of those shows, possibly both of them, and have a go at an early qualification for the Olympia 2025. And the way he has been looking this year, he has a very good shot at winning those shows. So we saw the absolute best version of Vlad at this year's Chicago Pro. He was as freaky and as impressive as he looks on his Instagram pictures, as he looks in his physique updates. And I have to say, his conditioning at that show, that was so immaculate. So he is one of the most dense looking guy, one of the most dense looking bodybuilder in the world right now. He is one of those freak of nature of the modern times. But he really needs to find that balance of being ripped enough and still being full enough so that he can outmuscle and also outfreak most of his competition. Because the thing is, that is his only calling card. He isn't the most aesthetic guy out there. He has a wide waistline. So he needs to be absolutely spot on in terms of everything else. And I guess they pushed a little too hard for this year's Tampa Pro. And that is why he dropped down to 4th. So Vlad somehow is able to maintain a crazy shape all year round. Even in his latest update, he looks nearly show ready. And maybe that is because of the fact that he was hoping to compete this weekend. So hopefully he does find his way into that winner's circle, especially in his upcoming shows, and get on the Olympia stage next year. So we are now 30 days out of this year's Miss Olympia, and the mind games are on. So Ramon posted a back double biceps and a back lat spread yesterday. And this was followed by Wesley posting those same 2 shots. And damn, he looks mind-blowing. Although it is filtered, but Wesley's level of detail and grittiness, that is gonna be the same without any filter as well. So just because Wesley was able to beat Ramon at this year's Arnold, which by the way was one of the biggest upset that we saw in the recent times in pro bodybuilding. Because the thing is, no one really saw that coming. I mean, Wesley really went from being 7th best in the world to being the 2nd best in the world. And because of that, the fans from both sides decided to engage in this rivalry. And that is now really starting to get fierce. So Ramon really has put his heart and soul into this prep. And the man is really coming for his redemption in 30 days time. And I have to say, no one really messes with Ramon forearms. And he looks really insane, but so does Wesley. I guess this is gonna come down to which one of these guys peak best on the show day. So Ramon desperately needs this rematch, because the thing is, he just wasn't at his best at this year's Arnold. but still good enough to place very close second. And that speaks volume about Ramondino's potential and how good this guy really is. While Wesley, on the other hand, is also gonna show up with tremendous improvements. So if we compare Wesley hitting that same pose, the back double biceps, from last year versus this recent one, it seems like he has added a lot of width and a lot of density. And still at the same time he has that same level of detail, or maybe even more than that. And keep in mind, we still have 30 more days to go. So Chris Bumstead will retire soon. And I hope these next guys, they stay very close in terms of the competition, so that we can have this excitement of anything can happen on the Olympia stage. Next up is the 2.5 weeks out physique update from Brett Wilkin, who is going to be competing at this year's Legion Sports. So this is Brett's comeback show after 2 years, and he has been working with Matt Jensen as his coach since 2021. So Matt knows his body extremely well. And based on their track record together, I believe Brett is going to bring great conditioning, and that is something that he always does. So talk about having great abs. This is what we mean by that. And he has been practicing those morning vacuums as well for months and months. So it was really a long prep for Brett, because initially, the rumor was he was going to compete earlier in the year, maybe at Tampa Pro, and have a go at this year's Miss Olympia qualification. But these guys took it really slow, considering his digestion problems that we saw last year during his Olympia prep. So Brett is at a point in his prep where it's all about carving out every fine detail. And so far he has done a great job. So I don't think Legion Sports is going to be an easy show, because most of the guys who are going to be competing this weekend in UK, they are going to go for Legion Sports as well. And who knows, maybe his former rival, Andre Presley, who is in a supreme form right now, he decides to do Legion Sports as well. So what do you guys think? Is Brett going to earn his Olympia 2025 qualification in 2.5 weeks' time? The term baby biceps was first used by Michael Krizo when he wasn't even an IFBB Pro, and I remember that very clearly. He was calling out Nick Fokker at that time, and he used that term for his biceps. Michael Krizo has now started his recovery with baby weights, literally. But that is a man of great dedication and great discipline, and also his love for the sport of bodybuilding. That is really unmatched, and I believe he is gonna recover faster than ever, faster than what people are expecting. On one hand, it is so sad that the 7th best guy in the world, he's gonna miss this year's Miss Olympia, because I believe that 2023 proper version of Krizo, that could have done a lot of damage, especially in those 7 to 10 spots. And regardless of his placings, Krizo is one of the most freaky looking bodybuilder on the planet right now. And the thing is, people come to see those freak of nature, especially at the Olympia. So Krizo was gonna go really insane if he was unable to train at all post-surgery. So either he has been training his lower half, or the other side of his upper half. So the Arnold Classic 2025, that is on Krizo's plan. And this Arnold, that is gonna be one of the greatest one in many years. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.